Tracker, do you like Snap-on tools? Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Jeremy from Haasl Tools and I'm your YouTube Snap-on guy. Today's video is going to be called You Asked For It. So I've been getting a ton of emails from a bunch of people all over the world asking me different questions, asking me to do a video series or maybe a close-up on this or that. So let's go through them. First up comes from Sweden. He wants to know what's the difference between a KRA 4107 and a KRL 756. Well, luckily I have 1.5 of them on the truck. Let's go ahead and compare. I got enough stuff here that we can do a pretty educated video on the difference between the two of them. And a lot of you might want to know as well, what's the difference between the Heritage and the Masters series. Let's start. All right, so way back here in the corner of the truck, I have a KRA 4107 toolbox. And I took this one in on trade. This is a used toolbox, and I'm keeping it. I'm not selling it. And this is what I use to hold my previously enjoyed tools. We got all kinds of different stuff in there. So we'll use that for comparison, as well as, look at, there's that lazy guy. This here, and you're like, but that's not a KRL 756. Hang on just a second. So you're right, this is a KRL 702, excuse me, it's a KRL 722. However, if we use this fancy painter's tape, and we do this, this here would be your KRL 756. It is a single bank version of this toolbox. So this drawer is the exact same that you would get in there. They're a little different drawer configuration. You get one big one on top, and then it goes to a number of the thinner ones, and then you get 3 taller ones at the bottom. Now, on all of our toolboxes, because all of our hinges are put on center, you can actually take like 2 of these drawers and swap it for that one fairly easily just by moving the slide. So this is the storage space that you would get out of a KRL 756. But that didn't answer the question. What's the difference between that KRA 4107 and this one? The answer, room-wise, is this much room. It's about 440 cubic inches is the difference. You get more in here that you wouldn't get in there. You would lose this much room buying the other toolbox compared to this. So room-wise, they're pretty compatible, you know. Yeah, that's some space, but is it the end of the world? Another difference is the slides. So these slides on here, on the single set of slides, it's going to get you 227 pounds of downforce. These are rated at 227 pounds of force. Let's look at the other one. The slides on the Heritage series, these are rated at 120 pounds. So you can have double the capacity in the Masters series. Now, it depends on how many tools you put in there. Are you going to put over 120 pounds per drawer in there? If so, you might want to go to the Master Series. If not, then the Heritage Series will work for you. So the Master Series does have more room. There's about 500 cubic inches more in a Master Series and about 400 square inches in the Master Series of more room. But the load capacity is the big one. The Heritage is rated at 2,400 pounds of load capacity, total load on them 4 wheels, whereas the Master Series, which is going to be about the same size, a little bit deeper, but not quite as long, is rated at 3,600 pounds. So if you decide to get a top box, put it on top of there, the Master Series can hold quite a bit more. The Master Series weighs in about 306 pounds empty in the single bay, and the Heritage weighs in at about 275 pounds. So they're real close. They're within 25-30 pounds of of each other that way. Price wise is a big difference, and I know that was one of the things that he had asked. The Master Series US list price current as of today when I'm recording for the Master Series, the list price is about $4,300. The Heritage list price is about $2,235. So almost $2,000. From the sounds of it, he's working from home. The 4107 box I think is an awesome box because you can add on, you can put that nice top on it. And I've sold quite a few of them to guys working in shops. They last a long time. Is it worth the $2,000 in the Master Series? And I would almost say no, because I've had some of them single bays and they are a hard resale. Whereas the 4107s, them are pretty easy resale because of the price point. So I think overall between the two of them, the 4107 would probably be the best bet for you, especially being overseas. It's a little bit lighter for shipping. It's probably a more common box over there. So you could probably get it a little faster. Now they do only offer, I believe, 4 colors in the Heritage Series versus 12 in the Masters Series. So if you did want one of them, you know, unique colors, you would have to go to the Masters Series to get it. But that's my thoughts on that. If you guys got any other questions, leave them in the comments down below. I read through them. Next up, Corey from New Hampshire. He sent me an email and he says, hey, I'm a mechanic. I love Snap-on tools and I got a 20-month at home. Does Snap-on make any clothing for 20-month-olds? The answer, no. Snap-on makes tools. However, Wild Impact makes some cool stuff. Talk to your dealer to see if they order through Wild Impact. We get these. This is an old book, 2016. I showed you the new one, but Jamie took it home and didn't bring it back yet. So these prices are not current. These are 2-year-old pricing. But they do have different things available. Not much. I think this is probably the only page. Yeah, it's the only page in here that has kids stuff. So it is real limited, but they do have stuff to offer you that would be cool. I've had a couple of the teddy bears on here. I had one guy that ordered the recliner with the cup holder in it. So there are some cool stuff. But talk to your dealer, Wild Impact. And you have to be a dealer to order through there, so don't try calling them up because they're not going to send you nothing. But yes, we can get stuff for your youngin'. Thanks for sending the email. I appreciate it. Next up, Rick K sent me an email and told me a little bit about his tools. We'll pop that up in the screen here so you can see it. A little bit of history. He'd been a mechanic for quite a few years, and he sent me a picture of a clock that he got way back in the day, and he had a request asking if I could play some banjo music. He kind of liked that when I play the banjo music. So Rick, for you, we're gonna let everybody take a peek at your clock while we play some banjo music. Jeff sent me a email the other day, and I actually responded to him, but I wanted to put it on here. His question is, can I buy tools from you, new or used? And the answer is no. Unless you are in my route, I am bound by my franchise agreement, and out of the respect of all the other dealers around, I cannot nor will not sell tools out of my route. It's not worth losing all of this, you know, to make an extra $5 or $10. I do appreciate it. You know, I appreciate that you guys want to do business with me, but I can't. Donald sent me an email talking about his tools that he's had, and, you know, he's been working at home. He's more of a backyard mechanic, so to speak. And I actually have a number of them on my route that I visit. Either they'll meet me somewhere at a shop, or from time to time I'll swing past their place to take care of them. And then he sent some pictures of his tool storage setup. And what I think some of the people that do watch this channel don't realize, that I'm a tool guy, but in two ways. Yeah, I'm a tool guy. I sell tools, right? And rulers and school stuff, and teach guys the alphabet. No, I'm a tool guy that way, but I'm also a tool guy. I like looking at tools, and he's got some Craftsman boxes that he bought, and he's got Craftsman tools in Cornwell. Really? Who cares? That's awesome, man. I appreciate you sharing that. This is a tool channel for people that love tools. It's not just about Snap-on. It's about tools, about fixing stuff with your hands and doing things safer and learning from each other. That's why the comments are so important from you guys. The next and last question for today came off the comment section in one of the videos, and I went to go look through there, and there's so many dang comments I couldn't find it, but I definitely remember it. And before we get there, let's talk about that once. If you haven't gone and seen the video that I'm talking about, check it out up here. I'll put a link to it. It's awesome. Everybody's listing their favorite movies in there, and it's so cool to read through there. A lot of the movies I've seen brings back a lot of memories. That's actually really fun to read through the comments there. But the last question was, do me or other tool dealers, you know, whether it's Snap-on, Matco, whatever it is, offer used tools for sale? And the answer is yes. When we take trades in, we'll resell them. And how do you find them? Well, that's a tough one because dealers hide them all over the place. So the easiest way to figure that out is ask the dude that sits up there at the desk, or if his desk is in the middle or wherever, just ask him, say, hey, what do you got for used tools? Where are they at? Let me dig through them. Sometimes they are located they might keep them in the top drawer of one of the toolboxes. I put the stuff that I have on order for people, or let's say that there was some slap koozies you're going to give away, you might hide them in there. But I use my top drawer here for back orders. My guys know it, so they'll come in and check that out. Sometimes there's cubbies down below, and you might find some used tools under there. I use that for storage for more tools. Other times underneath their shelves, they have different types of drawers, and I have like an empty drawer. That's no good. I got some used diagnostic stuff in one of there. Never know when you're going to need that. These are all straps for tying stuff down. A lot of times I have stuff in the middle of the truck. And on this side I have my loaner tools. My MG325, I still have to put that back together from the one video. And on my truck, the used tools are located in this KRA 4107, and I got it. Yeah, some drawers are really empty, and there's who knows what you're gonna find. Other drawers might be fuller. Them are an awesome set, them low profile sets. So the lesson here is just ask the dealer when they show up, where do you keep your used tools? Let me dig through them. If you ask them, you got anything new, used? You know, we got so much stuff going on, I don't remember what you looked at a week ago. So it's best if you just dig through yourself and see what you can find. All right, I appreciate you guys spending a little bit of time with me this evening. I have fun reading through the comments and the emails and the pictures and all that stuff. We're growing a heck of a community here, and I appreciate it. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. At the end, there's show you a couple of video suggestions, and then on the other side, there's a circle with my truck. Click that to subscribe. And on that note, I'm out of here, so you guys have a good night. Tell the guys goodbye. What do you say to them? What do you say to the guys? Tell them goodbye. Tell them to have a good night. What do you say? What? Tell them to have a good night. What do you say?